How are they supposed to survive? All right, next tweet. Project Healthy Mind. Now, that's a little bit of the summit thing here. Most of these I've already spoke about on my other channel. Okay, this just ended. Prince Harry and Meghan will be joining Project Healthy Minds second annual World Mental Health Day Festival at Hudson Yard, New York City on 10/10. Okay, that's November 10th. Okay, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will sit down with U.S. Surgeon General at NBC's Carson Daly for the Archewell Foundation Parent Summit, Mental Wellness in a Digital Age, a discussion on building community and positive change for a safer online world for young people. Harry and Meghan doing the research and making a much needed impact. Thank you, Surgeon General and Archewell, for this much needed discussion. And I think the other one, the other brother and copy and paste, they're gonna be talking about that as well. So there were some tweets that made reference to it. No, it wasn't a tweet. It was on my phone when I opened it. It was one of those articles that was making the comparison between them two. And I was like, Harry and Meghan have been doing this, especially Harry. He's the one who made the discussion become more part of the mental health discussion, more generalized, people to talk about it, because it has been going on for a very long time.
And we will always say yes to becoming patron of a charity that we believe in and that we're incredibly passionate about. But I think in today's world, you have to be involved with things that make sense to where your passions lie, rather than potentially turning up to a charity once a year. I don't think that's necessarily beneficial to anybody. But our mental health campaign, Heads Together, back in the UK, is a classic example of where we were able to bring together 8 charities within the mental health sector.
With your mic.
I'm so sorry.
No worries, thank you. We were able to bring together 8 mental health charities that have been working in the sector for many, many, many years. But being able to bring them together and say, right, you guys have never sat around a table together and discussed the main issues. What we want to be able to do now is, through our foundation, create a platform in which your expertise and your experience is elevated. And therefore, you tell us what needs to be done around mental health within the UK and globally. And they said, if you can remove the stigma, that makes our life a lot easier. So that's exactly what we did. We tried to remove the stigma and tried to normalize the discussion around mental health.
The other brother, on the other hand, just piggyback from it. And then the copy and paste, on the other hand, went berserk, because this topic is very sensitive and it needs so many research and professional. I have no idea where she's going with that. But she wants to do it. Hey, the more the merrier. Hopefully she come with some sort of a solution. But I don't think she's using it or dealing with it the right way. There's Harry and Meghan, on the other hand. Like they've said, I think through a People magazine. I didn't read the article, but someone made reference to it. Through People magazine, that the people that Harry and Meghan will be talking to, those parents, they've been talking to them for the past year. So it's not like out of nowhere they pick somebody and say, here, you're going to sit here, we're going to talk. So they already know the background of things. Okay, to discuss it, probably bring professionals to help them tackle their issues. Okay, who knows how many thousands and millions of other parents who's going through it, the same type of situation that the people they will be talking about have gone through similar things. Okay, so Harry and Meghan have been doing their research, and Harry truly, I think, understand the foundation of it. He brings the expert to help those tackle issues.
Our mental health campaign, Heads Together, back in the UK, is a classic example. We were able to bring together 8 mental health charities that have been working in the sector for many, many, many years. But being able to bring them together and say, right, you guys have never sat around a table together and discussed the main issues. What we want to be able to do now is, through our foundation, create a platform in which your expertise and your experience is elevated.
This is where he becomes the bridge. He hears different issues, different topics, and he deals with all sort of people, all right, from professionals of different branches to people who probably never considered of doing anything. and he heard the problem and he knows someone who could help them, and he make the connection. This is what Harry is all about, and Megan, which is Archewell. Okay, Harry and Megan doing the research and making a much needed impact. Thank you at Surgeon General and Archewell for this much needed discussion. Exciting. So looking forward to this important event. We love to see it sold out. Okay, I spoke about that already on my other channel. Wonderful. Can't wait. All right, so let's go to the next tweet, making reference to that same summit as well. Next tweet, there's this. I don't know, the text on Twitter, it's weird. I don't know, it's messing up my eyes. It makes it hard for me to read them. All right, this is, I saw this tweet. I think I put it out on our part of Pew Service when I come across his tweet. There he is here. Dr. Vivek Murthy, U.S. Surgeon General. Next week, I'm joining forces with the Archewell Foundation to advance our national conversation on the youth mental health crisis. As Surgeon General and as a father of two, I believe there is nothing more important than the well-being of our children. This, he retweeted that, Project Health Mind, which is what I just read. This just end. Prince Harry and Meghan will be joining Project Health Mind's second annual World Mental Health Day Festival at Hudson Yard, New York. Okay, so this is the tweet that I just read, and the doctor retweeted it. And here are some comments. Okay, there's that. So this is him. All right, I'm excited for this. Hope we are able to follow online. And when it comes with the mental health thing, this is very crucial in our society, all of us. The other day I was looking at a video where a young boy the video was taken within a school bus, and then there's the kid outside destroying the bus, doing some crazy thing. I don't know what led to that, and you're hearing I believe the bus driver calling, I guess, her or his superior about what's happening, and said for the parents to come and get the kids because she can't really drive the bus away and doesn't want to bring the kid inside to disturb everybody else. There's really issues going on. When you see people acting erratically in public spaces, you have to think what really is going on with people's mental well-being. So a lot of things is going on in our society when every reaction, it's always the savage way. Okay, the initial reaction is the savage way. So yeah, tackling the mental aspect of people it's a really good thing that Harry and Meghan is bringing highlight to. Okay, I'm excited for this. Hope we are able to follow online. Okay, so that's an ad. Okay, super excited. This is very important, much needed conversation, especially in this age of social media and parasocial interaction. Awesome. There was another video that I was seeing. I think this was a teacher who was talking about how parents are not really showing their kids their basic things, with things that social things that kids should know. And you would think they would know, but instead you have parents recording their kids, embarrassing the kids on social media for the kids not knowing, when in fact you should be showing the kids this is what happened. If you don't know, this is there's a lot of things that's going on. That's it's from small little things that add on that was never tackled from the beginning, and it progresses to some crazy things that we are seeing right now. Okay, so let's read. Do yourself a favor and conduct some basic rudimentary research on the hateful following that Harry and Meghan rely on to promote themselves to detriment of free speech and civil discourse. You certainly don't want to be on the wrong side of history with these two. What the hell? This is the thing. When a small little progress is making forward, you have to come with people like this to disrupt the path forward. This is what this tweet is about. Let me see the 6th comment here. Okay, that hateful following clearly including people like you and tweet like yours. Since the topic is online bullying, don't you think he will be familiar with the derangers who stalked the couple? Nailed it. Semi-royal grifters. Wow, when they talk about grifters, phew. And this is the blind thing they're putting on people. So let's just get out of this. I'm already a couple hours here. Okay, minutes. So the well-being of our children is number one priority, like spending time with them. Don't make me laugh, okay? Does anyone think at the suffering Sussex is to such serious highlighted day will do anything other than make it into a farce? I don't know. So they want to hear why Gen Z is so anti-socializing, IRL. These people only want to use apps and machines to communicate, no interpersonal skills, and younger generation. Yeah, and the younger generation. That's true. Okay, looking forward to your conversation about the youth mental health crisis, Dr. Murphy. All right, so there's more. You could see where some people try to distract from what really matters. Because at some point, people need to sit down and talk about certain things. But there's here, they're talking about it. Harry's bringing highlight to specific. Remember, in life, there's different branches of so many other topic. So this is one of minuscule of topic in our society that Harry and Meghan wants to talk about. Now you have other people who feel like what Harry and Meghan are talking about should not be, and then they start calling them name. Meanwhile, instead of them, okay, if you feel like there should be something else to be discussed, then bring another branch of things to be discussed. Don't prevent one from doing something positive and then to try to hold them back. This is insane. This is insane. Really insane. Meanwhile, the others who's creating chaos on vast scale, they let them be. They let them be instead of putting a halt or some sort of a stop to it. Next tweet. All right, so there's this here. Wow. There's a loving eye. It's a world-class event. No Harry and Meghan ain't going to seek for oysters in New York River, nor will they go to Fire Engine Place to preach mental health like Willie did. Harry and Meghan is doing work that are above the monarchy's league. Top Surgeon General. Cheers. Okay, so there's this here. Yes, the U.S. Surgeon General will be present. The thing is that, okay, this is why they give them the time and the space to discuss this kind of thing. When Harry, Meghan are talking to professionals, all right, these people, the professionals that they're talking to, sit in classrooms for years to learn their field. So when they come and talk to different group of people, the interaction tells them who's serious about the things that they spoke about, right? So when Harry and Meghan are talking to those professionals, they understand their seriousness of the subject being discussed. They see them that they're trying to make a difference. So yeah, if they want to do something, why not? They have the platform. Let me give them the time and space to discuss certain things. But when they talk with other people who's spewing bullshit, okay, you could sense when somebody is bullshitting you. You don't need to tell them you're bullshitting, but you just listen to them and you see they telling you crap. So when they try to get a minute, some time of your day to still spewing BS, you know you don't want to spend your time wasting your time with them. So when Harry and Meghan are discussing certain topic, and if they ask someone, can you please, let's discuss this and that, yeah, they'll give them the time and day. So they know Harry and Meghan means business. All right, yes, the U.S. Surgeon General will be present. This is major. Harry and Meghan are working with the big ones. Okay, so there's Joe Diva here. Wow, the U.S. top doctor will be there too. This sounds like it's going to be a super world-class event. I feel that I read this already. The summit will feature parents who have experienced tragic loss connected to their child's social media use. Meghan and Harry have been working with the parents involved in next week's event. Behind the scenes, people has learned. So this is where I was saying, wow, all right. They've been talking to them way before. Okay, you're right. Harry doesn't copy Willie. Harry and Meghan have more important things to do than go to river and park to see firemen in front of tourists. It's a first Archewell in-person event for new parents' mental health issue, which is very real issue for many people. Amen. You got that right, my friend. Yep, there's this. The commander-in-chief took time out of his day to meet William. So what does that have to do with mental health? I mean, remember, this is where what's that thing? There's a word for it. It's a form of diplomacy where the president, the commander-in-chief, is showing good diplomacy, friendship, but did William receive it the same way? Is he using the presidency? Because from what I remember, he came to the US and New York for photo app, and then to go back to his homeland to show the people he was doing something. All right, but the US is using it as a form of diplomacy. You are a visitor, so he took the time to whatever the meeting was discussed of. But when William came to New York City recently, when he went to see the oysters or whatever he did over there, I don't think the president met with him. It was for the Earthshot in Boston, I remember. But the mayor of New York had to cancel the meeting. Something came up. That's what they were saying. But I don't think the president had met with them when he came to New York. That's my understanding. If they did, I'm not aware of it. Where because he's supposed to be the future king, so they have to whatever. Let's see the two comment under it. Okay, there's this here. Bully is just a fake, as his typical Windsor marriage, and neither he nor his estranged wife have accomplished anything thus far until Meghan came on the scene and she had overshadowed them. Nothing positive was written about them. Now the invisible contract protects them. All right, so there's that. I mean, eventually everything must come to an end. So they have to put the other ones into the conversation. And there I am. I was reading it. Whatever's there, that's it. That's the laugh. The summit they'll be part of is for important creating a better online world for kids and teens. I'm excited to learn what ideas they have and the data they'll share on topics. Why even mention the other compare the activities, everything Harry and Meghan do doesn't need to be validated as better than or different to what other irrelevant people are up to. It seems a bit pointless, to be honest. That's true. All right, let's go to the next tweet. There's this here. There's Jodiva. The baby's back. Okay, how dare Harry and Meghan host a summit in New York City on World Mental Health Day? And why is the U.S. Surgeon General participating in their debacle? Harry and Meghan should know that New York City is William's territory. This type of world-class event diminishes the performative work of Wank, William and Kate. His Majesty the King must remove all titles. Okay, I miss Baby Derangers. There's that. Okay, good one, Joe. There's that. They should go jogging one morning since they'll be there. Love it. I understand some of the squaddies don't like to compare. I understand that, which is fine. But now that the other side know, there's Harry and Meghan that have been doing the work and the mental aspect of things and the mental field. So maybe perhaps the other ones could take that a little bit more seriously. I know they're just playing. They're just putting up front. I remember the shout, what happened to it once Harry left. And we've heard the other one been talking about it for years. Okay, where she sat down with some professionals and First Lady Biden was talking to her about it. When First Lady Biden was about to discuss more, they shut down the conversation.
With parents, because that relationship had to open up, right? Because there were so many areas where teachers were helping parents and parents were helping teachers. And so it's just such a fascinating discussion, but I think we're moving in the right direction. And I also wanted to ask about food security. I had so many things that I wanted to ask about, but I guess I'll have to just come back.
So we already know they're not serious about it, but because this is a worldwide issue, anyone who could come out of any of this discussion in a positive way, that's good. But I just hope the other side, not Harry and Meghan. I know Harry specifically have been very on point with this. He's very serious about it. But the other one who's playing along, putting a front or whatever, I hope in some shape or form they take it very seriously and have a solution for this topic. All right, so yeah. All right, next tweet.
So right now, let's join together across the UK and reach out to someone.
If you're struggling, it's important to talk about it. Or if you know someone who is acting differently, it's okay to ask how they are.
because not many people have asked if I'm okay.
And the answer is, would it be fair to say not really okay? And it's really been a struggle.
Yes.
You have to prioritize your mental health. You have to say to yourself, at some point, because it's very easy to run away from it, to walk away from it and avoid it the whole time. Someone has to take the lead and has to be brave enough to force that conversation.
Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time, and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially, because I know how much loss he's suffered. Mm-hmm. But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it, and I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
I'm sorry, I don't believe a word she says, Meghan Markle.
Well,
I wouldn't believe it if she read me a weather report. I'm not taking anything they said at face value, I'm afraid.
As part of the legacy of the Heads Together campaign, we wanted to do our best to make it easier for people to start to get the help they need.
I went to the institution, and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help, so that I've never felt this way before, and I need to go somewhere. And I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution. This wasn't a choice. This was emails and begging for help, saying very specifically, I am concerned for my mental welfare.
We wanted to work with all of you to change the national conversation on mental health. There is more work to do, but something has really started to change.
I've had some messages communicated to me on behalf of several members of the royal family.
Upper level
I'm very
people?
grateful that... Well, I'm not going to go into who it was, but what I would say is gratitude that somebody was standing up for them.
So this is a tweet that I came across after I finished record. I've edited it, but I have not rendered that video yet. So I thought it was good to put it in the video because it makes sense with some of the things that I've already said. Look, at right now is actually 10 a.m. It's been a couple hours since I first recording the thing. So let's read some of the comments here. So I've already showed you this video. Egg and Bone cannot talk about mental health. We will never forget. All right, so that's the thing that I was saying. I hope they take this thing seriously. Okay, it said having to watch the hypocrites stand up and talk, and yet he helped to make Meghan's life a misery and in need of help. Her cry for help wasn't heeded, and to think that she was pregnant at that time. Very powerful. I despise Egg and Bone with every fiber of my being. Hypocrites, no credibility. William had his palace sources marking Harry's mental health struggles back in 2020 to undermine his arguments of why Harry left. The same family that drove Princess Diana to despair even today makes a twisted sport out of gaslighting Meghan. Okay, thank you. Saving this clip for the copy and pasty gaslight next week. Everything they claim they advocate for is always just for PR. Skull and Bone only care about trying to one-up anything that Meghan and Harry do. Bone accent is infuriating. It's paid for. She had a lesson when she joined the mafia cult family. Very annoying. Unfortunately, not able to retweet, and retweet icon is Grace. We will never forget. Okay, so let me see. I think I could retweet it.
So right now, let's join together across the UK and reach out.
Yeah, I guess she limit who can retweet it. I'll retweet it later because I could retweet it. All right, so that's it. I'm just gonna insert it on my last recording this morning.